Jesus Cristo, verdadeiro Deus e verdadeiro homem, bendito o nome de Jesus, bendito o seu sacratíssimo coração, bendito o seu preciosíssimo sangue.
Yo quisiera aquí hacer una pregunta, pero cada uno se la responde adentro.
I would like to ask a question, which everyone can respond in his or her heart.
¿Cómo rezo yo?
How do I pray?
¿Como un loro? Bla, 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 bla.
As a blah blah blah, half asleep before the tabernacle because I don't know how to talk to the Lord.
Porque no sé cómo hablar con el Señor. ¿Rezo?
Do I pray?
¿Cómo rezo?
How do I pray? Only in adoration, only in the presence of the Lord, do we truly rediscover our taste and passion for evangelization.
Y la pasión por la evangelización.
During World Youth Day in Lisbon, Pope Francis emphasized the significance of adoration and raised a fundamental question: how do we pray? In Rome, we asked pilgrims gathered in St. Peter's Square whether they believe in the real presence of Jesus Christ in the Eucharist when they're praying.
As a Catholic, as an Italian, I really believe in the presence of Eucharist, of Jesus in the Eucharist, and I think that is really renewal and refreshing every Sunday at least to get the Eucharist, and I think that people should do that with the purification of their souls when they can.
Talking with pilgrims, we received different answers and reached out to Father Michael Baggot, who organizes weekly Eucharistic Adoration for young people in Rome. We aim to understand why young people find it valuable to participate in Eucharistic Adoration prayer.
Well, in a world in which so many of our relationships are mediated through technology, I think one of the great antidotes to the disconnection we experience is Eucharistic Adoration, because we place ourselves in the presence of the Lord.
Almost 2/3 of Catholics in the United States do not believe in the real presence of Jesus in the Eucharist, according to a recent Pew Research Center study. To properly catechize the faithful, the United States Bishops' Conference organized the National Eucharistic Revival, and Father Michael, an American priest in Rome, is taking part in the initiative.
I think that this troubling statistic about the low number of Catholics who attend Mass and yet fail to believe in the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist is an invitation and a challenge to all of us to catechize better, to instruct better through our teaching in schools or in other settings, but also to instruct well through the way in which we celebrate the liturgy. A beautifully, reverently celebrated liturgy is one of the greatest forms of sharing with every generation the beauty of the Eucharist, the presence of Christ. If a priest and those around him are acting as though they're in the presence of God, then everyone else will begin to realize the great mystery and marvel that's before us.
In 6 months, as many as 80,000 Catholics are expected to attend the event from July the 17th to the 21st, 2024, in Indianapolis for the National Eucharistic Congress in the United States. Later this year, a worldwide gathering will be taking place in Quito, Ecuador.
I think is one of the great values of Eucharistic Adoration in our age is we have quality time to listen to the Lord and make ourselves more present to His real and full presence to us.
The Congress in the United States is the climax of the Bishop's 3-year National Eucharistic Revival Initiative, which was launched in part because of the Pew Research poll. The recent Pew Research Center study revealed that 69% of Catholics in the United States believe that the bread and wine used in Mass are, quote, symbols of the body and blood of Jesus Christ. The problem is that this is not what the Catholic Church teaches about the Eucharist, and it conflicts with 2,000 years of Catholic tradition and teaching. The Church teaches that the Eucharist is the source and summit of the Christian life, and as Pope Francis has often said, the Eucharistic celebration is an encounter with the risen Jesus.
Jesus Christ, in His last days of earthly ministry, gathers His beloved apostles together, and He gives them an amazing gift. He says to them during the meal, "This is my body, this is my blood." This is his farewell gift to us, not just a nice gesture or a way of remembering someone who is lost to us, but a continuation of his presence. He wants to remain with us. He says, I will be with you until the end of the world.